Donald Trump has just won the 2024 U.S. presidential election. But here's the big question. Why hasn't he taken the oath of office yet? You might think that after winning the election, the job is his. So what's going on? In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know in a clear, step-by-step manner. Let's start with the basics. On November 5, 2024, after a hard-fought election campaign, Donald Trump emerged victorious, defeating incumbent Joe Biden. With his win, Trump secured enough electoral votes to clinch the presidency. The news flooded in across networks. Trump was officially the president-elect of the United States. Trump's victory marked the end of one of the most contentious elections in recent history. The process was complete, and Trump's place in the history books seemed all but guaranteed. So, if he's the president-elect, why hasn't he taken the oath yet? Well, this is where it gets a little tricky, and where a lot of people get confused. In the US, the election may be over, but the new president doesn't officially take office until January 20th of the year following the election. This is all thanks to the 20th Amendment to the US Constitution, ratified in 1933. The amendment moved the date of presidential inaugurations from March 4th to January 20th, reducing the time between Election Day and when the president officially starts their term. It ensures that the transition of power happens smoothly and quickly, without unnecessary delays. So, even though Trump has won the 2024 election, he still has to wait until January 20th, 2025, to take the oath of office and become the 47th President of the United States. That's the day the new president steps into their role and takes the formal oath as required by the Constitution. Now, you might wonder why there's such a long gap between Election Day in November and Inauguration Day in January. Well, this tradition goes way back to when communication and transportation were much slower, and it took time for the president-elect to travel to Washington, D.C. In the past, presidents had to make long journeys to get to Washington, and the government needed time to ensure everything was prepared for the new administration. But with modern technology, travel has become much faster. Still, the tradition of the January 20th inauguration remains in place to allow for a smooth transition between presidents. Now that we know when it happens, let's talk about why it's important. The period between the election and the inauguration is known as the lame duck period. It's when the outgoing president remains in office until the new one takes over. During this time, the outgoing president has limited powers, and it's essentially a transition phase where the new administration is getting prepared to take over. For Donald Trump, this period means he won't take any official actions or oaths until the formal swearing-in on January 20th, 2025. Behind the scenes, Trump's team is already working to ensure a smooth transition. His incoming administration is preparing to take the reins, and many key officials are being selected and briefed. This is a critical time for both the outgoing and incoming teams to make sure the country continues to function seamlessly after the transition. So, even though Trump has not taken the oath yet, his victory in the 2024 election is undeniable. The key thing to remember is that the oath of office is a ceremonial event, and it is tied to January 20th, not the election results themselves. In fact, every newly elected president, whether it's Trump, Biden, or anyone else, must wait for Inauguration Day to officially assume office. It's an essential part of the democratic process in the United States. When January 20th, 2025 arrives, the country will witness the official swearing-in ceremony. Trump will raise his right hand, swear the oath of office, and begin his second term as president. Until then, he remains the president-elect, preparing for the big day ahead. That's why Donald Trump hasn't taken the oath yet, despite winning the 2024 election. The process is built into the Constitution, and it ensures a structured and peaceful transition of power. As always, we'll be here to keep you updated on the latest developments. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more. See you in the next video.